Hey, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Sneak Up. Sneak Up is Pedestrian's podcast dedicated to all things art, music, and culture. Proudly brought to you by Platypus Shoes. My name is Jack, and if you're new to the show, it's all about having chats with interesting people that we think are doing some pretty great things. And on that note, what better time to introduce him than Allday?
I guess I'll leave.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get an interesting person.
Yeah, right. Replace him. Having just announced his next album, Starry Night, over the phone, and with the tour coming up right off the back of Splendor, we thought it was a pretty good time to chat. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's all good, dude. So last I heard, you're living in LA.
Yes.
Are you still there?
Right now I'm in Sydney.
True.
Am I going to be cheeky the whole interview? We'll see.
I hope so.
I do live there. That's where my stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? I've been living out of a bag. I've been in Australia for a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 3 t-shirts that I'm rotating.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm from Australia, so I don't mind it.
Mm. Why did you decide to move to LA in the first place?
To chase the celebrity American dream.
Right, okay. How is that going?
Pretty poorly. No, it's going all right. I had a visa and I just want the music to do better out there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
You thought like you'd sort of reached the point that you wanted to be at in Australia and to kick somewhere else?
Yeah, just on a personal level, maybe just grow and see what else could happen to me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and it's been fun. I made a lot of friends and sunny all the time. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
And LA is quite a big hub for stand-up. I've heard that you used to do a lot of stand-up.
When I was very young, I tried to stand up.
Yeah?
People have been asking me about that a lot recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. So I haven't done it in like many years, but I go see it.
Mm-hmm.
At the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you see 5 people off the telly in a row or whatever. You see like Bilbo and then whoever else.
Cool.
In a row, like come up. You're like, wow, it's amazing.
It hasn't inspired you to try do it again?
Those days are over.
Well, you still seem like a funny guy.
Thanks.
So recently you did your Leica version with the Veronicas and Japanese wallpaper.
Yes.
It was incredible.
And Simon Lamb of Chloe.
True. I'm actually going to be asking you about him.
So I shouldn't cut in with that information.
No, that's good. But
did you know he was there?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, they did. They kept everyone dark, didn't they?
Yeah, it's a bit moody.
Yeah.
But just on the Veronicas, how did you get involved with them? How was that a thing?
Just in the most organic way. We played a festival and then we were at an airport and they came up and said hey, and we just started chatting and that was it. We became buds.
Cool.
So yeah, we like have been hanging out for like a couple years. Just like whenever we're in the same place, we'll just meet up and have a chat, and then so making the song was really natural and that kind of thing. So yeah, they're really sweet.
Cool. You've just announced your next album, Starry Night, over the phone, as I said before. What are you trying to say with this album that you haven't said already?
No. That I haven't said already? I'm saying the same things I've always said. So that's, I haven't said anything new.
Okay. So you're just putting it out because you love putting out music, or you feel like you want to say things differently?
I mean, I think I'm always trying to write the same song over and over again. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. For the most part. I don't like writing to topics necessarily. I like, I'm not writing like thrift shop or whatever.
Yeah. I'm glad you're not writing thrift shop, if I'm honest.
But so, yeah, I mean, I'm not really saying anything new. But I've been thinking I'd like to write a happy album one day.
So it's just like a feeling that you want to replicate through all your music?
Feeling or, just like an image or like, it's a bit, or a mood. Feeling. And a lot of the songs are in that same feeling. But listening to the album, it's a bit depressing sometimes. But I find depressing music very soothing. I listen to a lot of depressing music and it doesn't make me depressed. It's soothing.
What's like if I could ask you for one image from the entire album, what would the image be?
It's like desolate boredom in suburbia.
Cool, okay. I got that from the
cover.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense now that I think about it.
One image, if I could put it down to one image, I would say the front cover.
Probably the cover of the album, yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, are there any particularly exciting features that we can expect on it?
Lonely Spec.
Mm-hmm. From Adelaide?
From Adelaide.
Yep.
Superstar. Very talented singer, producer.
Mm-hmm.
Simon Lamb, like, executive produced it. Weathen made a beat on there. He's an American dude. Yeah.
With those features from Australian artists like Simon, Lonely Spec, is that something that you've tried to do because you're Australian, or it's just sort of happened that way? You haven't reached out to a lot of American artists to try and get them on board, or it just happened naturally?
I think it did just happen naturally, but also being in America made me more conscious of how much I'm Australian, and it made me miss Australia, and then I was writing songs about Australia. It all made more sense. Especially the song I made with Lonely Spec was about Adelaide, and they're from Adelaide, and yeah, so that was like perfect to write it with someone from Adelaide.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. That it's a sort of feeling of nostalgia that I get from your music a lot as well.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's what it's all. I guess that's what it is. It's all living in like an imaginary past, or like somewhat true past.
With the recording process for the new album, I mean, you're working with a lot of Australians, as we just said. Can you tell me a bit about the recording process? Did you record it in the States?
Yeah, I recorded every song in the States, I think. Maybe Restless I did the vocals in Australia. But every other song I did in the States, and so I had to find... It took a while. The album took longer than I wanted it to because it took me a while to find the right people, and one of the people... Like, I was worried about leaving my engineer, who I've always worked with in Australia, and then moving to LA. I found a guy called Mario, who's a super good engineer, and we did the whole album together, and I drove him really nuts. And by the end of the album, he was so grumpy with me because I'm really slow recording, and I record things again and again. Sometimes we spend 4 days or 5 days trying to make a song, and then I just say, no, I don't like that song anymore. And then he was getting so grumpy towards the end. And at the end, he was like kind of sulking and was like, oh, next time we have to do it all in like a couple of weeks or something, like trying to tell me. But it's good now. I've given him a bit of a break. But he was great. And then we were trying other people to mix the album. And then he kept saying, I think I could do a really good job mixing this. Like, and so we'd have other people mix it, and then he'd do a mix as well, and his mixes were always better. So he ended up mixing most of the record, which was, I think, super cool because he was involved the whole time. And, so yeah, now I've got sort of a go-to guy in LA, which makes me feel always excited to go back and get busy making music.
That's good. It's like, as opposed to when you first went, I imagine it felt a bit intimidating, like finding your feet.
Totally, and there is an element of going, especially if you don't know who you're gonna. If it's two people in a room, especially because what I do, I just cut vocals. I have sessions on beats, and then often I'm cutting vocals in just a vocal session. So sitting with someone who you're not familiar with and performing your song, it's really hard to get to a level of being familiar enough or comfortable enough for someone to really do the best job you can. So that does take a while.
Harking back to what you just said then about you recording songs, they would take like 5 days at a time and then you might ditch it.
Yeah.
You sort of have a decent amount of time between records.
Yeah.
Is that purposeful, or is that just how long it takes you?
Well, for moving country, I think that just held me up a bit. I don't exactly know why, but maybe it was like trying different engineers and trying different things. The second gap was just moving country, so I feel like now I'm in a space to hopefully keep it rolling.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
In that whole moving process, did you know a lot of people that lived in LA when you got there?
I only knew one person.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Who was that?
My friend Alex, from who I grew up playing basketball with in Adelaide. So shout out Alex.
Nice.
And he was like, we had kind of lost touch a bit. He was like, yo, I live here. I was like, sick. And then so now, yeah, that was great that he's there. Like one good friend that knows Australia and knows
I guess I kind of automatically assumed when you moved that you would have just like picked everything up with like all these musician friends, but I guess you just have like a regular group of friends over there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends are musicians, but it's nice to have people who do other stuff to keep you grounded.
Yeah.
Or just so you know what real life is like.
Yeah.
Musicians are just children,
Do you say that from personal experience?
Ree and I were speaking about it before, that musicians get driven around and have people pay for their food and have other people book their flights for them. It's like you're just living in this eternal childhood, and and then every weekend you're at like a festival or whatever. It's like, no wonder these musicians are just like, egomaniacs. It's not good for your brain.
No. You started making music at a relatively young age. How do you think your music, your lyrics, your sound, everything is different now to what it was then?
Hopefully, I don't know. When I listen to the old stuff, I'm like, so it was actually, some of it's alright. But I mean, I think when I started to just from I didn't know. I didn't come from I didn't grow up with a musical theory training or anything. It was just like a rapper. Like I could do verses.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it was like, now make an EP or whatever. I was like, okay. And the naivety actually it can be good in music, but you don't overthink it. That's why people can come out, and be 17 or 16 and come out with some amazing music because they're just not overthinking it. But for me, I think it went from when I realized, you know what, I think these days I just give a shit about maybe too much of a shit. I mean, get back to not overthinking it, But yeah, it's just been a growing, learning process. I feel like after all this time now, I feel like I'm at a point where I'm starting to be confident in being able to what I can make, and I feel like the next few years will be my years.
Cool.
Yeah.
You said on Twitter recently that the video for Lungs.
I keep touching this.
No, that's all good. It's animated. I like it being animated. Yeah. You said on Twitter recently that the video for Lungs looks like the inside of your brain. How much creative input did you have in the making of the video?
I mean, I suppose a lot, but I never get videos right because I'm always letting someone else do it, or I'm making myself do it, or I'm giving myself too much responsibility. So that's been something I want to get right. And Lungs is probably one of the first videos where I'm like, oh, this is at least captures the mood of the song, which is all I want to do, just capture the mood of the song and don't. So maybe I'll focus on that going forward.
Yeah, right.
Videos are hard, man.
How do you usually get someone around the concept for a video?
It's sometimes I've just let directors take it in their direction, and that's what I always end up regretting. And then other times, early days, I would try to direct it myself. You always know the DJ, I did everything, but I didn't know enough about film, so it's but at least it was the colours that I wanted. And shit, so yeah, that's something I gotta get better at. Can I drink this?
Yeah, you can drink that whenever you want. It's hard to do it at the same time as well at the side of your mouth. Okay. Your lyrics to LAV are rather political.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of having a read through them the other day, just sort of trying to, think about the progression. Do you think that you ever want to use music as a means of protest? Because there was a lot of lines in there that felt like protest.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, that's a hard one because it has to feel right, and it doesn't always feel right for me. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm interested in a sort of nostalgic filmscape thing. And that's what I've been focusing on so much is trying to be able to capture an idea and put people there. And that's hard enough to do.
Yep.
And then it's I guess it might happen and it might not. I don't know. There's almost too much fucked up in the world to even start talking about it. If you're going to start talking about fucked up things, where does it end?
Yeah, maybe better to concentrate on something else.
Yeah, and just an escape. I think that's and I don't listen to much protest music, I don't think. I think I use music to for another purpose. But I like that people make it. It's important.
Yeah, just maybe not for you.
Yeah, I don't know. If it feels natural, it does.
What do you think of the Australian hip-hop scene at the moment? Is there anyone that you're really liking?
Well, I think it's very good. I think I like a lot of Sydney stuff. They're called 1-4, Then there's the Melbourne guys. I think they're called Melbourne guys. They're called 1-4. I get confused. There was a lot of numerical names.
Yeah.
Kid Leroy and I don't know. The Sydney stuff is really good right now. And all the sort of Vlad rap, all that Australian grime I feel like that's the good stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. So there's so much new good Australian rap, and when I started, there really wasn't. So
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
It's a bit more classic.
Yeah, I mean there was. It's just I'm always I don't know why I feel the need to like criticize Australian rap all the time, because there's so much good old Australian rap too. You know, when I was a kid, I fucked with Delta from Adelaide.
Yep.
Who was like making really good boom bap soul, like amazing stuff, and that was the thing that sort of one of the things that made me think I can rap in an Australian accent. And yeah.
Would you ever collaborate with any of those artists?
Yeah, and Delta, actually, I've been meaning to get a beat of him. And you know what? One of the other artists I used to like, this will be only for the real old school Australian hip hop heads, but Terra Firma. Do you know who they are?
Yeah.
So they were all from my area, and I used to deliver pizzas to Simplex from Terra Firma when I delivered pizzas, and he, like, all the time. And eventually I was like, hey, Simplex, like, you know, fuck with your music. When I was like 18 or something. And so we knew each other just from that.
Yeah.
And then eventually I asked him for some beats or whatever. And then that became like one of my early songs, like Claude Monet, like back in the day. And so I did collaborate with one of those like old school legends.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
I imagine that, like, you know, you've made it when your pizza boy is like, yo, what's up?
Yeah. He's probably like, just don't harass me right now, dude. I'm trying to eat my pizza.
That's gold.
Yeah.
You've just announced a tour to support the release of the album.
Yes.
Have you got anything particularly special planned for the performances, or is that sort of kept under lock?
This time we're trying to change it up and bringing like different staging and different like a band, like more singers, more musical instruments, because in the past I've done it more like a hip hop show. So that's kind of the new thing, and just trying to step everything up at once, hopefully.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, that's what we're working on now. That's why I'm kind of in Australia, just figuring all that out.
Just prepping. Is there any one of the shows in particular that you're looking forward to the most? Any city that you really like playing at?
Well, I love playing in Adelaide, where I'm from. But then there's always one of my uncles standing there, you know, coming just to like give me the face like he's not impressed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to be like, oh, okay, like give me an eyebrow or something. I'm like,
really?
Fuck off, mate.
That's an expensive eyebrow.
You shouldn't. Oh, well, obviously you put your uncle on the list, but then he gives me fucking. You know, that's what happens. You know.
I saw you recently cancelled your nana for
being
a climate change denier.
Yeah, and guess what else my nana said? Because I was there. That was the last time I went there. She denied climate change. This time, this week, she said she doesn't like the women's AFL. Oh,
why?
She thinks they pull each other's hair, and she doesn't think it's good that they play footy. She thinks they should just leave it alone. But she's like, you know, believe me, there was some pushback. I said it's good. You should give it a watch. You should watch it. And also, Erin Phillips, who plays in that league, and is so good at footy. When I was a kid, I used to play against her in basketball, and she was a serious hooper. Like, so I know firsthand how good these people are at sport. You know what I mean? So she was a killer basketball player. Like, she was killing us when we were kids. So there we go. That's one of the reasons I love the league, because I know how good Erin Phillips really is.
You need to get your nana up against Erin Phillips, and then maybe she'll see eye to eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Not sure how that'll go down. So we've got this section on the show which is called Shoutouts.
Yeah.
Which is basically we give our guests like a chance to plug someone that they're really liking at the moment.
Okay.
So whether that's a musician that you're really digging, maybe an artist, anything. The floor is all yours.
Okay. What's a good... Alright, what about my friend's band, Mining Boom? My friend Paul, he's from Perth, and his band is called Mining Boom, and he's been chilling for like years, actually, not really doing anything, but he's coming out with music soon. And I think he's like one of the greatest songwriters, and he's just a really poetic dude. What else? My friend Coco Star, I'm trying to think of her Instagram, Coco Star Sims. She's done some of my art. Have I got my light on?
Yeah, I've got your light on, yeah.
Draining my fucking battery. She's done my art on some songs, and she's gonna do some art for me coming out, and I think she's a good visual artist. And visual artists get the fucking short end of the stick, don't they? Where's the thing? Coco. I shouldn't be on my phone, should I?
No, that's cool.
Her
I like
Instagram's
the reference.
her Instagram's fucking Coco, FKN Coco. She's like a really good visual artist, so shout out Coco.
Cool, great. We'll be sure to check them out. We've also got another section on the show which is called Soulmates, where our guests tell us what shoes they are wearing. So, Allday, welcome to Soulmates.
Thank you.
What are you wearing at the moment?
I'm wearing my vegan docs at the moment.
Can we lift them up into frame, perhaps? I know that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. There we go. Is this in frame?
And why do you like wearing docs? Is that more your style? It's not a very hip-hop shoe.
It's not. I don't know. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know why, because I suppose, it's it represents me as a 2012 Tumblr girl that I am.
That's a cool style. I always got down on that.
That's kind of my thing. 2012 Tumblr 15-year-old.
Cool. That whole nostalgia as well.
That's my aesthetic.
Cool, man. So my final question is, what's next for the Allday project? What's happening for you, like, in the next 5 years? Have you got, like, a plan, a goal?
A 5-year plan. I'm hoping to use the skills I've been slowly building, and in 5 years' time, I hope that I've made a bunch of songs that are way better than any song I've ever made so far. And when I have all those songs out there, I'll be happy. That's that. maybe I won't be happy, but I think the journey is fun.
And that's the main thing.
That's the plan.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks, man. So you're playing Splendor, and you've got a tour. Where can people check that out?
You can buy tickets to the tour. alldaytunes.com. It's
Cool.
gonna be good.
Thanks,
All right,
man.
thank
Really
you.
good having you on the show.
Thank you.